right. Hanna Nicole Brewer, welcome back to the
Yes.
show.
So excited.
Me too, me too. So, those that have missed it, go back and watch our first episode. We talk about her journey and how she got to where she is. Met her at Daytona. Actually, I reached out to her on Instagram. Real quick backstory reached out to her. I'm pretty sure it was Instagram. And yeah,
Yeah.
we did a part one, talked about a journey, and this is the part two for the whole recap of the first season in BTR Flat Track. I'm good, and obviously in the house with us we have Jeremiah Snow. It's an absolute honor to have you on, my friend. I know you work closely with Hannah. She reached out to me and said, "Hey, let's get Jeremiah in." I said, "Let's make this happen." So here we are. Welcome to the show, Jeremiah.
Nice to
Um,
meet you.
it's an honor, my friend. Absolute honor. Hannah, we sat
Yes.
down. It's been right after, I'm pretty sure, Daytona earlier in the year.
Yep.
We you just got done with that weekend. I forget where you were headed to the following like couple
Uh,
weeks away.
Ventura? Yeah.
California, I think.
Yes.
Yes. All right. So, I want to pick it up from there, right? Because this is
All
the
right.
full first season recap, right? So, after we get off the podcast, I thought you did amazing at Daytona. Your first race, there's a lot going in, the emotions, and just a lot of stuff, right, happening. So you absolutely killed it, right? So let's pick it up in how was the journey to California and tell us about that weekend.
So we ended up flying out. It was a pretty short weekend to go to Ventura. We ended up flying out Friday, and the time zone is completely different. So took about half a day to fly there with the layover flight and all. And we got there, had our mandatory dinner, got our hotel room, and then, of course, Saturday is race day. So we came in, it was a whole nother atmosphere. You have the mountains and the beach right there. And it was a pretty cool scenery because I've never seen anything like that because, I'm from North Carolina and just this flat land. So um, went into the day pretty decent. Um, in qualifying, I didn't do that well. I think I qualified fifth, which put me in the back row. And then the heat race, I ended up getting fourth, and I knew I needed to change that. So I actually went into the main, had a really good start, and ended up getting third. Well, actually, back up. I held third for the longest time, and then we had a another girl have an accident. Only 3 laps left the main. So we were sitting there at the red box area, and all these emotions are running in because you don't know what's happening with the other girl on the team. And then we ended up restarting the race, a staggered start at that. And unfortunately, I had a little bit of a bad start on that one, and I was in fourth. And then the last lap, I ended up squeezing right underneath Madicilia Rodriguez and pulled a third. And that was actually my first podium with BTR, the second event. So I was pretty stoked for that one.
I love it. What it's your second race podium. Pulled a little Sammy Halbert move, right? Slamming Sammy up on the inside. Let's go, right?
That
Yes,
was not
yes.
intentional.
It never is. Well, with Sammy it is, but usually with
Yeah.
everybody else it's not, right? So yeah, absolutely. It's yeah, proper mega weekend, as I always say, right? You show up first time at this track, I assume, right? First time at this
Yes.
track,
And
knowing
one of my
that
actual favorite tracks.
really,
Yes. I actually really love Ventura. It's like, during the day, I didn't really care for it. It was kind of inconsistent. And personally, I need to work on that. I need to work on tracks that's more inconsistent to benefit me. But then when the heats came around, it was a little bit greasy from them, from the moisture from the ocean, and they just watered it. So we had to put that in a factor. And I actually did a little bit of a change with my PSI, and I went lower, and I should have not. So for the main, I ended up bumping it back up. I ended up putting 19 in the front and 18 in the back, and the track was perfect. It was kind of like it was very racy. I wouldn't say it was cushion, but you could run any line on that track.
Yeah, yeah, which is always fun, right? It's
Yeah.
like, and this is what I love about flat track, right? In road racing, the course is what it is. It either has no grip, low grip, decent grip, or it's grippy as shit, right?
Yeah.
Flat track motocross, dude, the track's constantly changing from half
Yeah.
lap to half lap, right? Let's just be honest. So you got to, always adjust your riding style and your body position. And the biggest thing of all that I always talk about is the mental side of racing and in life in general, right? But that has a lot to play with. You get in a rut and you're like, okay, mentally I need to think about it, but before I get there, right? Because we develop these habits and we just rush in, or whatever it is. So as the track change, you change with it. So does your
Right.
body position, your riding style, and that's one of the things I love about flat track and motocross too. Of course, right? It's not just you look at it. All the fans show up. They're like, yeah, especially if they don't really know about it. Yeah, it's just dirt with looks like a little rocks or gravel or whatever it is in it,
Yeah.
right? But they don't understand that it changes from lap to lap, and there's just so much that goes on with it. Congratulations, let's go, first podium, yes,
Yeah.
2026, second race. So let me ask you this: coming out of that weekend, absolutely on this super high, right? So going into your third race of this season, obviously you carry that momentum with you, right?
Yes.
So tell us how your third race went.
I think it was at Nashville, I want to say.
I
Yeah, it
think
was
so.
Nashville. So
Tennessee, yeah.
unfortunately, Nashville um, had a lot going on the week prior before Nashville. Uh, my aunt had passed away literally that week.
I'm
So
sorry.
it was kind of one of those things like I was trying to keep myself, motivated and everything. Well, we ended up flying in, I believe it was Thursday, and my mind was just not there. Like my head was on cloud nine. And I ended up doing really crappy that whole day. Like it was just one thing after another. I ended up getting fifth. I held fourth for a while. Um, well, take a rewind back. My heat race, I actually 12 o'clock to bike. I was right on the groove. Bad start again. And I stood the bike up, and this thing is so heavy. And I thought I was about to lose it. Well, as soon as I landed back down, I ended up hitting Emma Gotch in the rear end, and the bike just went into a wobble. And there was no saving. Like I don't know how I saved that, honestly. So then that just happened. So again, my head's in the wrong, you know, mindset. And then I went into the main and I was like, you know what, I'm going to do better. Well, I had a bunch of people that had came and, some of my family and racers that I know that I race with locally, giving me some advice. I'm like, hey, I know you could do better. And it's just one of those things like, man, I don't want to hear that right now. Like, I know I can do better. But very grateful for them either way. I know they didn't mean anything by it and they didn't know anything that was going on. Then with my main, after the first lap, my hot shoe came off. So it was slapping against the bike the whole time. And I could not ride the same with the hot shoe just flapping back and forth. Because, I had the strap on and it had came off the boot and it was just like dangling in the back. So I don't know how they didn't black flag me, honestly, because that was
Meatball
very
flag.
dangerous.
You, yes, you.
That was very dangerous, honestly. I should have came off, but I was kind of hoping that they would black flag me to come off. But it is what it is. It's racing.
Absolutely racing, right? First thing I want to say is I hate to hear about your loss. It's sending you all the love and mega vibes as I tell everybody. It's one of those things in life that it's inevitable, right?
Yeah.
I always tell myself that it's an absolute honor to spend the time together we did in what I always call this short life, right? So
Right.
sending you all the loves, you and the family again. It's rough to even anyway. That whole weekend going in, coming off the high off the win, but coming into this weekend, the unfortunate circumstances again that comes with the mental side of things in racing, right? How do I deal with
Yes.
this? how can I still put out this positive energy for my team and everybody that's behind me and Royal Enfield and all these people that believe in me, right? Like, how can I
Yeah,
overcome that right here? And I hope you didn't feel like you let yourself down.
a little. I always beat myself up.
All racers are always their hardest critic, right? Let's just be honest,
Yes.
because they're always like, you always want more. Like, I could have done this better. I could have opened the throttle earlier in this corner. I could have done that. It's always those what ifs, could have, But at the end of the day, you still got to be proud of yourself of how far you come and where you are at now. You know what I mean?
Right.
So let's go, Hannah. Right? So kind of tough weekend, obviously. With the unfortunate circumstance and everything that happened, you still did absolutely amazing, right? With everything that happened and going on, it just shows who you are as a character and how strong-willed you are, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And determined. So let's go, Hannah. Right. So after Tennessee, where did you go next?
So we
And
ended up
this is
going
the last
to,
race, right?
yes. So technically, Nashville was supposed to be the last race because we were supposed to have weekend after weekend, like a back to back weekend, because Williams Grove was supposed to be the first weekend. Well, it ended up getting postponed to July 11th because of the rain. So Nashville was the next to the last race. So then we came in with Williams Grove. Well, I knew Jeremiah, he lives up there in Maryland. And I was like, dude, you got to come watch me race. And he was like, as long as you get podium.
I
And
love
I
it,
was like,
Jeremiah. Let's go.
all right, bet. So
Put the
I, I
pressure on.
ended up I ended up making it happen. I was very close to getting second. Very close. It was a very technical track. It was a paperclip half mile, but I love half miles. Like they're my favorite. Um, Trying to remember. Bad starts again. Need to work on that. Uh, I had the whole shot to begin with, and I believe the heat race, and then I could not shift the bike up in time. So the first turn, it was Matasilia was in front, then Emma, and then Giovanna Shipman. And I had fourth for a while, actually, until I think either 2 or 3 laps left of the heat race. I ended up going around Giovanna Shipman and ended up getting third. So that automatically, that was like, whew, thank gosh.
I think your
But
start in the main was a little better than the heat.
yeah, it was a little bit better to me. Not quite where I wanted it, but it was a lot better than the heat race.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
go ahead, Hannah.
I was just gonna say that I ended up getting third for that event. So 2 podiums this whole season. Wanted more, but can't ask for it.
You know, I want to take it back from the beginning when you got the acceptance to be in the BTR Royal, flat track. You're like, let's go, and I talked to you after Daytona, but did you live up? Everybody has their own little expectations of themselves, right? Whether it's their first season, blah blah blah, whatever it is. Do you feel satisfied for your first season with BTR? Are you happy?
Here comes the self critic. Yes and no. Like, obviously, I'm very happy with my results this year. I was 2 points shy from making the top 3 for the overall season. And that kind of was a little bit butthurt for myself. But, I'm running up against very high competitive girls that are really good. And I'm not going to take that away from them. They're very, very fast. Matasilia Rodriguez. She gave me a run for my money this season. She left us at Williams Grove, so she won about a half a lap ahead of me and Emma Gotch. I
She's
knew if
making
I
that
had
high
to,
line work.
yeah, she did. Me and Emma Gotch, we were running a little bit of the lower line, and now I know what to expect for next year. Hopefully, if we go back to Williams Grove, I will definitely be running the high line because that really worked well for Matasilia Rodriguez. So there's a lot of things that I learned from this season with different tracks, tracks that I haven't been exposed to with Southeast, going to different states, and, the dirt's a lot different, especially at Ventura. Um, even Williams Grove, like, yeah, I'm used to red clay tracks around Southeast, but I felt like that was a true red clay track.
Oh,
I feel like a lot of
100%.
your tracks down there are not as banked as the PA
Yeah,
far
they're
tracks.
not. And
So it's a
Tennessee was
total different
actually
animal.
really banked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've never been. You know, it's for your first season in BTR, you absolutely killed it. You know, fourth overall in the standings. But now let me ask you this: on the road race side of BTR, I know every year, you know, they swap up the courses we go to, right, to keep it fresh and new. Do same thing kind of in the flat track world side of things.
So I don't, obviously I don't know what the tracks will be like next year. We honestly won't find out until AFT comes out with their schedule. I mean, obviously, we'll have a little bit of a notice ahead of everybody before it comes to the public, but it won't be that far from it. I guarantee, I mean, BTR has always been to the first round of AFT, and that'll be Daytona. So I'm pretty sure Daytona would be one of them.
100%.
Very stoked for that one. I'm very
Me too.
hungry for first place at Daytona. Like, I
I'll be
really want
there.
to make
Let's
that
go.
happen.
Yes, yes, yes.
But I don't know what the rest of the schedule looks like, honestly. I really do hope we go back to Ventura. I know the girls went the year prior to Ventura, so I really hope we do go back there. Because that, like I said, that's one of my top 5 favorite tracks.
I love it. You know, and so I'm gonna go and ask you this, right? Next season's obviously, you know, months away, but it's gonna be here quicker than you think it is.
Yes,
You know,
sorry,
so
August.
right in the middle of August, right? I'm going to VR this weekend for Moto America. I was there last weekend for Into announcing their endurance racing, but going into this next season in 2027, man, it's hard to believe 2027, right? Here we go. Everything you've learned, the girls you've raced with, and is there going to be new girls coming in and older girls coming out this next season too as well with your program?
So, yeah, so it'll be, technically next year it'll be me, Sammy, Kristen, uh, Morgan, Brooke, and Julia. So we'll be the second year girls. And then we'll have new girls coming in.
All right, so you have new challengers coming in that you've never raced with before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Probably. So those are unexpected. You kind of just keep them right here. But everything you learned this season from the girls that were faster than you, right? And you learned from them too as well. Coming into 2027, what are you feeling like? Like, what's your expectations? I already know what you're gonna say, but I'm gonna let you say it.
I mean, my expectation is just honestly stay on 2 wheels and really push to get podium every race. But, I will go into it more open minded. I get to a point where sometimes I go to a track and I'll look at it and be like, yeah, I can tell I don't like this. Well, that really hurts me right there at the start, just like that, because then I'm just in a bad mindset. So I want to get more open minded and be like, well, it'll probably change and I'll probably end up liking it as soon as I get out there. So I just need to work with my mental mindset more than anything because that's what's hurting me.
Yeah, you know, it's again, you know, I always talk about the mental side of racing, whatever it is, right? It's that's the biggest challenge that anybody faces. You know, it's whether you know there's things that are out of your control, Hannah, right? But it plays so deeply right here in your mind, like, oh my God,
Yes.
this and that, like the bike, this and this. Like, I feel like if you focus on the things you can control and just let them do their job and handle it right, some things just the monkey's always going to show up in road racing when you least expect it and throw that wrench and laugh, right? It's how you deal with it here is how you progress and move on. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you learned a lot. I think next year coming in, even with the new girls coming in, you are the advanced, right? Because it is your second year of the 2 year program, and
Yes.
I think you're going to put on a brilliant show. I think that you obviously we're friends, so yeah, you're going to win the championship, right?
Really
But
hope so. Yes.
right,
That's
right.
my goal.
That's why I said I already know what you're gonna say, right? Because real winners and champions, I'm gonna win the champion. Like there's no question. I got this knowledge. Like I'm gonna give it out there and give it my all, and where the chips lie and fall, that's where it'll be, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I think you're gonna go out there and kill it. You know, especially at Daytona because it's a very unique track alone by itself. You know, it's unlike any other. Well, I know the road course is. Is the flat track Daytona unlike any other flat track there is out there?
Definitely.
All right, there you go. So, um, you tasted it. You know what to do and what not to do, and hopefully, well, the track conditions and that never going to be the same. So we'll just have to show up
Yeah.
and find out in March how it is, right?
Yeah.
Jeremiah, I know you first time on the podcast. I want to start off with this. How did you and Hannah meet to begin with?
Uh, I think it was December of last year, or maybe earlier than that. Just went down. I had an off weekend and went down to Margarettsville, which her and Thomas, take care of and run. Um, Went down there and we just, it was like it's almost like I knew him for a while when I first got down there. It was, friendly. They treated me with, respect. It wasn't like an outsider thing or anything like that. And, I talked to everybody. So same with my dad. And we just, kind of hit it off, all of us, and helped her out with some suspension stuff, if I'm not mistaken, on the practice day.
Yeah.
And I could see it was like the progression just from doing that was a lot. I think she improved. I think we did lap times, if I'm not mistaken. I think he improved by almost half a second after doing that. Um, so it's just like, the more I share, the better that she's going to be. I want everybody to succeed, so
100%.
I don't look at my competitors as like threats. It's, just, I wouldn't say a rivalry, but kind of, but it's a good rivalry, not a bad one.
Yeah,
So
I call it a
push each
beautiful
other,
circus.
especially when, the South people ride a lot differently than the North people. So um, they kind of roll the corners where I'm used to apexing or, changing my lines up a lot. Nothing against you, but you're predictable. All you guys are very predictable.
Yeah.
Just because you all have the same riding style. I feel like up here with District 6 and District 7, we have so many people that show up to the races that you're going to have different aspects. All the way from the 50 class all the way up to the old men class. So we have a lot of people from District 6 are in AFT, and we've had we got 3 people so far, I think, in BTR, maybe 2, Giovannia and Sammy.
Yeah. And
And
they're up
then
there.
yeah, they're up here. I race with them every weekend, pretty much. So we have a lot of females up here in our sport. We have a women's class, and they'll ride with the men too, and they don't give them no breaks. So it's pretty cool.
And they shouldn't, right? Like,
Yep.
let's go. I love it. I
Oh yeah.
absolutely love it. One thing, Hannah, with you too, as well, like being with the BTR program, obviously you work on your own bikes, right?
Yes.
So, what was your biggest bike knowledge takeaway from this year that you learned by working on your bike and racing it at the same time?
So I learned a lot with, Jeremiah helped me out a lot, right before I went in with BTR, right before we went to Daytona. He actually helped me train that weekend before we left to go to Daytona. Um, I took a lot of the knowledge that he had taught me, with, running soft, hard, rebound, and having to, kind of make up with the back suspension and the front forks to help tie them together. So I learned a lot of that going forward with the season, and along with our mechanics. Everybody rides different. So I take a lot of knowledge from everybody, even the mechanics, other professional riders, even Jeremiah himself. Everybody rides different, and the suspension is going to be different for everybody. So it was a learning curve for me this season to learn what works for me, because what may work for Jeremiah may not work for me, or it may work. I might have to tweak it some from what he told me, and it's a big learning curve because a lot
Oh,
of people will tell you, "Oh, you need to do this." That's why I like Jeremiah, because he was like, "Well, why don't you try this?" And if I didn't like it, we could just change it back. So,
yeah, for
oh,
sure. And with that, knowledge of the mechanical side of things in the suspension, and when you learn that, when you go out there and ride it, you actually I think it helps a rider unlock something in their brain where they actually start feeling the difference, right? Because they
right.
understand it, because they're actually doing it to their bikes, right? And it just opens up a whole new 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 doors, right? And you're going
Yeah.
down, so it just makes you a better rider, right? A better racer, better mentally prepared too as well. So better all overall package of having bike knowledge as well as getting help from Jeremiah and everybody else, and your mechanics helping you set all this stuff up. So yeah, let's go, right? It's important. I tell everybody you should learn to work on your own motorcycle. It's important, right? I have the understanding of why you're doing what you're doing and the cause and effect and blah 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 blah, that good stuff in between. So I want to get to this comment real quick. So we got April Brewer. What is happening? Welcome back to the podcast. She says she gets in her head too much. Love you, Hannah Bug.
That's my
I
mom.
know. Let's go. Ah. Nothing but love to all the moms out there, right? Yeah, absolutely. So, and then so you guys met, kicked it off. You helped out on that weekend, and then so you guys been working together obviously this whole season.
Off
Yeah, I
and
usually
on.
watch. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say off and on.
Yeah, I usually try and I have a very busy life, but usually try and watch. If I can't go to every race, I watch at least every single one. Um, Try and if I see anything while she's out on track, I'll shoot her a message like, "Hey, try this or try that." Hold it on a little longer, open up your entry, close off, your exit, come down, get on it a little early. Anything I can see that would benefit her. Not, I wouldn't say it's an advantage, but it's just help. It's being helpful. Um, like at Williams Grove, it was tough to like get in the pits because I had my son with me and just a couple other things. But texted her, this is what I saw, P1, practice or whatever, qualifying. Try and give her little tips. I think I probably told her she didn't listen very well, but I told her a couple times. I'm like, open your entry into turn one. You're coming too tight and it's messing up your mid corner and your exit. So I told her to open it up, and a couple times that she did it, you could see like the flow was there. She was catching bike lengths up and everything. But I get it, when you're on the track, you kind of block it out. You're running your own race. Okay, I think I'm making time here. I'm going to do this. When all reality, you lose a tenth coming out. It may be better going in, but you don't make it up on the exit. So just little things that, and plus, like first year for her, the nerves are crazy, 110%. You don't get, I guess, a lot of time. I mean, you get time on the bike, but you don't get a lot of time on the bike.
Yeah.
So that is kind of the downfall. But now she knows what to expect with how the power is delivered and everything like that. Um, and with her doing the suspension and everything, like she said, it's her comfortable, whatever she's comfortable with. And 9 times out of 10, when you find that comfort zone, it's one or two clicks for each track, up or down. So it's not that much to change.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. And Hannah said it too. It's everybody has their own unique riding style and what they feel and how they feel and how it translates to their brain, right? And all this
Hmm.
stuff. So suspension's that black science, right? It's
Right.
just like fuel injection in the ECU and all these digital maps and lines and squiggly things going on. I was like, I have no idea what this shit is. But whatever, right? I see a red line and a green line and a yellow line. I don't know. But yeah, it's again having that knowledge of and trying to keep it simple, Jeremiah, right? Too. It's easy to get lost in, of course, road race bikes. You know, we got low speed, high speed, rebound compression, blah preload, blah 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 blah. So
Right.
it's easy to get lost really quick, especially if you don't have no understanding of it. Hey, I'm throwing so much information, you're just like a deer in
Right.
headlights. Like, oh, okay. Like, I didn't hear anything because he said too much, right? Like, just keep it simple, right? Let's take it back
Right.
to Charlie Brown days, right? Just keep it simple. So, but having somebody in your corner, Hannah, that can translate it to you in a language that you understand, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
To help you with that knowledge is awesome. Now, I'm laughing at your mom too because your mama says she never listens very well, right? So, look, mom, what kids do, right? Let's be honest, we do sometimes, but you know we gotta push the edge. You know that's how we live. So, I, again, you know, having somebody like Jeremiah and in your corner. So obviously, you guys are gonna be working together again this year coming up.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Love it. I love
Yep.
it. And you had mentioned you're at Margaritasville right now, Hannah.
Yes. Top. My boyfriend is actually on the track. I'll show you.
Yeah, let me see.
I can't flip it around, but he's on the tractor right now grading it.
Love it.
I've been watering and cutting grass all day, so I had a shower before I got on this podcast.
Obviously, you there. You're gonna be doing some training.
Yeah, well, not this weekend. My boyfriend and I are gonna do a go-kart race here. We're gonna promote that, but then the weekend after, like next weekend, we actually do have a mini cup race and motorcycles afterwards. And then the weekend after is kind of private training with Jeremiah Snow. Like we're gonna work with each other a little bit, you know, help him overcome his wreck, and he's gonna help me with my weaknesses that he saw this past year. So we're gonna help each other push forward.
For
Yeah,
sure.
I love it. So, Jeremiah, you know, you've been watching Hannah all year, right?
Hmm.
Racing. Where do you see her biggest improvement come out of this year?
I mean, every race she pushed harder and harder. You know, from Daytona to Williams Grove, I could see great progression with staying on the throttle longer, getting on it earlier, and just like her riding style has changed throughout the year. It's not she's not as predictable. um, you know, she's thinking ahead, looking ahead, on the track. She's she's doing really good, I think. Like I said, starts. I feel like with that bike, the starts are probably harder than your 450.
It
So
is.
um, that's why you're gonna ride the Hooligan when I come down there, because something that can relay a little bit closer to the BTR
Yeah,
bikes, the
it
Royal
is.
Enfields.
Yeah.
Um,
It is a
so
lot different
yeah, you
than
need
the
to get your
450.
Hooligan done like stat.
I
So
am working on it. We're gonna try and have it done before winter throwdown. I mean, I don't want it done the week before. Obviously, I do want to
right,
train on it, but I do plan on getting it done, and hopefully, my goal is by August. So I'll let me be realistic. Probably later September to early October, or even later October. I
right,
want I want to train on it for a few months or 2 months before I do go to a winter throwdown, because I do want to throw down there on the hooligan for sure. I do want to
right,
make a name there in the hooligan class. If Corey does the class, I don't know if he's having it or not, because sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. So
right.
Corey Texter.
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, let's go. Right? Yeah,
How much
absolutely.
does the Royal Enfield weigh?
I think it weighs 450 pounds.
All right, so that's like right around what it needs to be for the hooligan class, I think, as well. So
Okay.
that the weight, I think the weight's the biggest thing, and probably the power delivery. It's a lot different.
Yes.
Um, which if you build your hooligan the right way, it'll be almost the same way. So it'll definitely help you a lot. I feel like.
Are you going to Winter Throwdown?
I don't know yet. I gotta. I'll make the determination at the end of the month.
Where's Winter
So
Throwdown at?
Callahan.
Callahan, Florida. It's a very short track. It's the same size as Margarettsville. A little bit tighter turns though, because Margarettsville here we have wider turns, but it's a little bit tighter.
Yeah.
So the gearing should be a little bit the same, except Corey's event will be grooved versus this one's more so racy. So you had to combinate for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I usually run the same gearing, but I run third gear at Margarettsville and second gear at Callahan.
Yeah,
So
tighter turns.
yep, it's a lot tighter. Um, it all depends on the weather too, like whether
Yeah.
it moves up or if it's. I've been down there 3 years in a row, maybe 4 years in a row, and I mean it's been different every year, but it's Florida in the winter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I was down there and the track was super racy. You could run anywhere, and then I think this past year it was just a tighter groove because it rained a lot and they had it packed in. So
Yeah.
it's all in the weather, honestly.
Yeah, because
Which
the first time I went, it was very rough. I think they had a lot of rain that week prior, and my dad actually took me there and my old sponsor. And then when Thomas and I first got together and I got back into racing, um, he took me down there, and it was a little bit of tight groove, but you gotta kind of expect that with that many entries. Like a lot of them. I'm not. It's nothing against the track prep. It's just a lot of the riders like to play follow the leader when it comes to Callahan Speedway. Um, and that'll obviously lay a groove. So, and like Jeremiah said, it all depends on the weather, how the track is prepped, and how hard it is. Because obviously, if it's so hard, it will lay a groove down,
yeah, it's hard to prep at any track for
especially with that many
600,
entries.
700 entries,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's a
there's not a
lot.
lot of time for track prep because you got to fit it all
No.
in one day. So, um, but I mean, when you have an event that big, it's to be expected. So
Yeah.
100%. And what state do you live in, Jamal?
I live in Maryland.
Okay, so yeah, you're
So
about 4 hours from me. I'm definitely closer to Hannah than me and
yeah,
you are
I'm
for
about
sure.
4 hours, 4 hours from Margarettsville, like 4 hours and ten
Okay.
minutes. So, but I race all over. It doesn't matter. Dad and I'll load up and hit the road. So it's
Love it.
something that just me and him share together, and I
I
hope
mean,
I hold on to it forever.
listen, I say this all the time on the podcast, man. It's such a unique journey. To start with, let me take it back. The grassroots of racing. It's grandfather, dad, son, or daughter, right? That's why this is the generations that it gets passed on to. Without that, I wouldn't be sitting here. Me and Hannah wouldn't be having this conversation,
No.
nor would me and you. So
Yep.
the journey is such a unique journey in this sport, right? Any two wheel sport, and there's plenty of people that want to do it and they show up, but they don't do it, right? So to have that journey, it's it's something it's hard to explain and put into words that what you, Hannah, and you are, enjoy that with your parents. It's a freaking proper mega, as I always say, right? It's like the best journey ever. It's
Yeah.
and to share that bond and one day become faster than your old man, right? Because that day always comes, and you start talking shit and rowing in his face. Yeah, come on, we know the deal, and
Yep.
yeah, but that journey is just it's unlike any other journey in the world, right? And so is our sport. It's the most beautiful thing ever, right? Two wheel racing, let's go.
And you don't know it. It's
You don't
weird, like
realize it when you're
outsiders
in
looking
it.
in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, you just go around in circles."
I
I
hear
hear
that
it
a
all the
lot.
time. And unless you go and watch it, you're
bro,
not gonna. It's not just circles.
bro.
You know.
Absolutely not. I watched Flat Track on TV, right? And I've been a fan. But when I went to Daytona 2 years ago, and I was like, dude, I'm going flat track. I'm there. Let's go. And I told Hannah this story, right? So I'm sitting there at the gate, like at the fence. I just grab the fence, and everybody's standing there, and I'm looking around. I'm like, why the fuck's everybody got goggles on? Like there's people with goggles on, right? I was like, well, maybe there's something they don't know. I don't know. I was like, oh, that's cool. Let's go, right? Let's get to racing. And first time looking like this is like, and I was like, now I know why they got goggles on, right? Let's go. So I started looking this way, of course, right? But to see it in real life, I was just like, are you kidding me
Mhm.
right now? This is absolutely amazing. It's, yeah, absolutely amazing. And it's hard to put into words and describe it to people. Just like, I guess in my races NASCAR, like, all you have to do is go around in a circle. I'm like, have you been there and seen this shit in real life? Like, what are you kidding me right now? Yeah, it
Yeah.
might be a circle, but it is war.
Especially the
Straight
last
up.
But
5 laps.
they are on four wheels.
Yeah.
Facts, 110%. I'm not a NASCAR fan, right? I've been to a NASCAR race. It's great to go to in real life because you feel the energy and the speed and the sound and the noise, and that's why you want to go, right?
Yeah.
Sitting on TV watching it, no, I'm good. That's cool. I'll go
It's so boring
yeah,
and on
right. I'll do
TV.
something else, right? Just like I'm a Formula One fan, but I don't watch Formula One because it's the same thing, right? It's just absolutely boring. But you come to road racing or flat track, ain't nothing boring about that at all. No matter what it is, what class it is
Yeah.
just it's again, it's like the Spartans battling the Persians back in the day, right? It's just all out war, straight up. And it's yeah,
Like I
absolutely
will
amazing.
say my favorite class to watch with flat track, and it's gonna sound so bad, is actually the 60 plus class. And it's only
You
it's
never know.
only dude, it's only because like these old men are out there to prove something and they're like pulling the same lap times as some of these pros. And I'm like, holy shit. Like it's kind of cool, like not gonna lie, like one of the guys I race with, and he helps me out so much, and sponsors me, and we go to races together. He helps me in the pit with whatever. Is Robert Lewis, and I think he is like,
Sneaky.
yeah, and his nickname's Boot. Um, he actually helped me train before I went to Square Deals. Trying to think how old he is. I think he's either 60. He's anywhere from 63 to 66. I know it's an odd number, but I
You
honestly
would
think
you
that
would never know it by the way he
no.
rides.
No, he looks like a 16-year-old, like that's out there just
Yeah.
proving himself.
First time I ever went to a SEFT event years ago, he lined up next to me on a road tax. And I looked over at him and he just nodded at me. And I'm like, okay, you know, cool.
All right, Gramps, let's
And then
go, right? Yeah.
he pulled the whole shot and beat all of us by half a
By half
track.
the lap. Yep,
And I'm
that's how
like,
weird.
I was like, who is this dude? And everybody's like, it's Robert Lewis. I'm like, holy smokes, he was hauling. And even down at Margaretville, I'm like, I have to give it my all to beat him. And it's great. I love it.
No,
I hope I'm that fast when I'm older.
right. It's April Brewer says he's 63, right?
Okay.
Absolutely amazing, and she said help you get that foot up sooner, right? That was her previous comment about you, Hannah. You got to get that foot up on the peg sooner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but in the road racing side, we got Jeremy McWilliams. He's 60, I think now. We got Josh Hayes. He's 50 something years old. And people are like, he's 50 and 60 years old. How are they still doing this? The answer is super simple because they're still so deeply in love with this sport that
Hmm.
they can't stop. They just can't. They're one of these people that they're gonna have to make it up in their mind. Okay, I gotta hang it up, or it's gonna be an injury that's gonna take them out, and they just can't. It's gonna force them out, right? They're just that deeply in love with it, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? And you gotta have that, and there's very few people that are like that in this sport, right? Because you see them retiring younger and younger in age and just walking away and never hearing from them again. If
Yep.
that makes sense. So, we got Don says, "Tell her, yeah, welcome to the show. I love you, Hannah. What about me and Jeremiah? We chop liver. We love you too, right? Let's go."
Dawn is one of my friends, and she's one of my clients as well. I do her hair.
I love it. I love it. One question I do have for you, I call it friendships. I mean, you talked about this a little bit last time. Any new friendship sponsorships you got coming on board?
Well, I got the same sponsors, but I can't really say much. That's just
Okay.
an after BTR thing,
All right.
if you get what I'm saying. Yeah.
110%. We'll save that for the next couple of shows, right? Yeah. When we're allowed to talk about, we'll talk about it for sure. You know, but that's also a big thing in our sport too, right? And you're well aware of that is the sponsorships. You got to have that. There's what I call friendships to help you for the travel and the expense and the tires and just all these things that go into to racing, right? And it's good to know that I've told you this, Hannah. You got a bright future ahead of you in racing for sure, right? You got all the talent I seen you at Daytona, even though we just met. Yeah, absolutely amazing. And Jeremiah, you see it too, right? Obviously, that's why you're helping her out, right? Because you believe in her and she's fast. She's got the talent to do it.
Oh yeah.
Every road racer has a beginning, right? And they all train mentally, physically, and get faster. But I always talk about the important puzzle pieces of the sport. Like, I mean, you talked about last time, Hannah, right? Jeremiah, like all these puzzle pieces have to fall into place in order for you to be where you're at, right? Whether you're going to be a world champion or you're just going to win a couple races in your career, whatever, those puzzle pieces have to fall into place. And when you're out there on the track, it's like playing a game of chess, right? So it's all strategy and everything into it. So and a bit of luck. Got to have some luck on your side too, as well, right?
I never have luck.
Come
I
on
mean,
now.
Not in New York this past weekend, man. Let me tell you about this bit. This had nothing. Okay, this has nothing to do with BTR. So we come in with this week, okay? Well, to be able to make this event and bring our dog, we wanted to get an AC unit, like a split AC thing for our trailer.
mini split.
That yeah, mini split. That's it. Thank you. I could not think of it. Thank you. And we actually bought the enclosed trailer from Jeremiah. Well, so it was running behind. It didn't get there till Wednesday night or Thursday night. I can't remember. The delivery was very late. We've been having problems with Amazon. So as soon as we get one of Thomas's coworkers to weld the bracket on the front, we never thought to cover the fan going down the road. Never thought of it. It broke it, slammed that mini split into pieces, going 70 miles per hour. And we're like SOL at this luck or at this rate. And we're like, what do we do? And like, it was just one thing after another. Like, we even had to patch our front tire 2 times because it kept going flat. And Thomas is like, this is a sign. We're not going. Well, plus rain chances were really bad, and Jeremiah knows that's why he's laughing because he knows how hot-headed Thomas can get. So he's over New York at this point, and we're like this week, like we're supposed to be going, and I'm like, no, we're going. Like, I don't care. Well, I should have listened to my gut because I woke up Saturday morning and we actually drove Thursday night to come up here to Margarettsville because we live an hour south from Margarettsville. And Margarettsville is about maybe 10 minutes from Virginia line. So it's on the way for us to go to New York. So we stayed here and we woke up. Like I said, it was just one thing after another. And the weather chances didn't look that good. And I looked at him and I was like, well, maybe we shouldn't go. And he was like, oh, no, we're going now. Like, we don't put in all this work to go. So I was like, okay.
Get in the truck, girl. Let's go.
Yeah, so we drive up there. Well, it's traffic. It was supposed to only be 6 hours to our friend Sammy's house. That is part of BTR. And it took us 13 hours because of traffic.
Holy shit.
So we were very exhausted from the traffic.
DC and Baltimore are not for the weak.
Yep. Yep. And it was just, it was pretty shitty, not going to lie. I mean, I hate to cuss like that, but it was just crappy how this week was going. So we get up there pretty late to Sammy's house, and we ended up having to stay in one of her little house, like mini homes that she has for guests. And then I wake up not feeling the best at all. And I just look over at Thomas and I'm like, oh gosh, like it's race day. Like I'm not even that excited. Like usually I'm pretty pumped up. Well, we get there and we get parked, starts raining. And I'm like, well, this was a wasted trip. Well, luckily, Mike Williams, I think is his name, ended up doing a lot of track prep and got it going for us. He worked his ass off all week to get this event going. I mean, it was 247 entries. So I was very surprised by how many entries there was, especially with Sturgis going on the same weekend. We had a lot of pro riders come: Justin Jones, Sammy Halbert. I know Budman is technically not pro yet, but you might as well say he is. And then you have Jess Reynolds, Cameron Smith, Aiden Brown. I mean, it was just a whole lot
Cody
of
Cott there.
pros. No.
No, Eisenhart was there.
Yes, Eisenhard, yeah.
McGreen was there. There was a whole bunch of like pros that didn't go to Sturgis just to go to there was a memorial race up there.
Yeah. For Aaron Kramer.
Yeah, Aaron Kramer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we get out, and I did not know. So their events run a lot different from ours. You know, with Southeast, we typically do 2 rounds of practice, and we ended up doing only one. And it kind of like caught me off guard a little bit because I'm so used to doing 2 rounds of practice to get my bike set up. And it was like rush, 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 rush. And I understand, like, you know, we were prolonged with the rain and stuff like that. And I just had a crappy day. My heat race, I did decent. My first one, I worked myself up from last and got up to second till I almost high sided and ended up getting fourth, I think. So then I had to do an LCQ, had a bad start, and ended up getting third. I only top 2, got a transfer spot, and actually Sammy made the main. So that was pretty really happy for her. And then,
Uh-oh.
the sportsman class for the heat race for that, I ended up stalling the bike off the start, pushed the bike to the infield, and I'm used to Margarettsville where there's like dirt, you know, off of the race line. So I pushed the bike, get it cranked up, and I gun it in the grass at Square Deals. So this is what happened. So I gun it, and then I fall immediately as soon as I get on the track.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. But I ended up making the main for the sportsman class. Make that make sense.
I love it, right?
That was a
always been
pretty rookie move on my part.
right, right. But even the best makes mistakes every once in a while, right? We're humans, right? We're just humans. We do it, right? It's the adrenaline's taking over, and you just pick it up and bam, back down on the ground.
Yeah, I was pretty mad.
That was pretty stupid to do right there, right?
Yeah.
Noted, 100%. So that's awesome.
Don't do that.
It's a no, absolute no. So what's your plans for the rest of the season, Jeremiah?
Well, I'm gonna make a decision at the end of the month down there at Margarettsville. I owe it to myself, so gonna go down there, just private weekend, private day. Hop back on a bike in my own terms. Just not because I have a family we're a family of 5 here, so I work Monday through Friday, sometimes the weekends. I'm just basically a weekend warrior at this point at the flat track races. Just going to get back on the bike at my own terms because I don't want to just show up to a race and feel pressured that I have to do good. Because it was pretty extensive injuries. So just like I said, just want to get back at my own terms. I feel like I owe it to myself to at least not hang it up yet. Had some serious accidents over the years. I don't want this to end it, but it almost did for me. But like I said, it's just something that my dad and myself share very closely together, and I have less time with him now than I did before. So something that I don't want to let go of. So
100%.
we're gonna see how we feel down there, and physically, I'm probably not gonna be anywhere near where I was, but mentally, I feel like I am. So we're gonna give it a shot. Um, been doing PT twice a week, and then at home been doing a lot of stuff to strengthen everything back up. So just a long recovery from this one, but I'm ready. So we're gonna see what happens.
Hannah, you'll take it easy on him, won't you, Hannah?
He's probably gonna end up showing me up, probably.
Definitely not the first lap. I can tell you that much.
It's Jeremiah, the whole injury and the whole mental side of things, and I could tell that you're deeply passionate and love the sport, right? Therefore, you're willing to go back out and do it. But you're right, you got to do it on your own terms. You got to be ready. It's like trying to tell a cigarette smoker you need to stop smoking cigarettes. They're never going to stop until they decide I
Until
want to
you're
stop,
ready.
right?
Yeah.
Until you're ready, right? It's one of those. Don't rush it, because if you rush it, it's just
Yeah.
not going to be the same, right?
I got so many people telling me, "Look, dude, don't do it anymore. Don't do it anymore. Don't do it anymore." But I mean, everybody has a hobby that they use to escape from reality, and whether that be golf or whatever, pool, anything. If I tell you, "Oh, you got to stop doing that," you're not going to like it either. Um, you just got to make it on your own terms. So, and
It'll
that's just
never
how
be
I
the
look
same.
at it.
I'll stop when
So,
I'm dead, right? That's what I tell everybody. I'll stop when I'm dead. It's cool. It's good.
yeah,
I come to
and
peace with it.
it's not. I don't want to get all whatever, but it's not in my hands.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I know.
So it's
Well,
we all have a day, and we
dude,
don't know when it is.
100% Jeremiah, right? So, yeah, dude, me and you definitely sit down. We'll do a separate podcast. We'll dive deep down in your story and all that stuff. I believe in, I told Hannah this. Everybody in this sport, whether it's dirt bike racing, flat track, road racing, whatever it is, has their own unique individual story of how they got into it and where they are and their goals and their achievements and all that stuff, right? And without each and every of these stories, that's what makes our circus the beautiful circus, right?
Yep.
Everybody has this important role to play in our sport, 110%, right? So, absolutely, dude. I
Oh
look
yeah.
forward to it. We're friends on Facebook, so just shoot me a message. We'll exchange phone numbers, and we'll definitely make it happen.
Right on.
Hannah, she got us on mute now. Look at her.
Yeah. You got to hit the unmute button.
Okay, sorry. No, my phone is overheating in here, so I'm having to mute myself and turn on the AC
Oh,
unit.
you're good. You're good. We're an hour into this anyway. We'll stop it here in a few minutes. Hannah and Jeremiah, just down with me after this episode. Hannah will definitely schedule our part 3, right? For sure. I'd like to
Okay.
catch up. Probably December. Just see what's been going on with training and you and Jeremiah and how you feel like you're better prepared. Right, even with all this training for next year, and then of course we'll sit down at Daytona. I'd love to do one live with you at Daytona next year.
That would be pretty dope. I
Let's
would
do
like to
that.
do that.
Let's do it. 110%. Right. So we'll do that. We'll do that'll be our first one of 2027. The one we do live at Daytona in March. Right. Um,
Yes.
as always, I'm gonna let you end the podcast, right? So Jeremiah, the way I always do things is on my podcast, all my friends in the podcast, right? By giving them all their shout outs where they can find them on social media and all that good stuff. But before they do that, there's a couple things that I gotta say, right? First thing I want to say is, look, here comes my son, Hannah. Did you see Rossi last time? He come in with the long hair.
Yes.
Well, look, he cut his hair. He just got his hair cut
Oh my
yesterday. I
goodness.
know. Yeah,
What
he's
made
like,
him want to get rid of it?
man, he's had long hair for about 6 years, and not too long ago, he's like, Dad, I'm just over it. Like, I'm done with the long hair. I want something different, and I always knew one day it was gonna
Shave the
happen,
beard so I
right?
can
So
stick this there.
I will, right?
Take a
So
razor.
I'm gonna get you. So I was like, let's do it, right? So it's a cool story because he found this TikToker in Blacksburg, which is like 45 minutes from right there where Tech is, that does these haircuts, but he focuses on kids, right? And he does like this live Instagram. He puts them on the Instagram and all this stuff,
Yeah.
and he cuts their hair, and so he wanted to have that experience. Stop! That's loud on my table.
Oh, you need a new table.
Do what?
You need a new table.
I need a new table.
Yes.
You need a new haircut.
Bro, that's not
He said, "Bro, that's messed up."
True,
I'm just playing. So yeah, he went down there and got it cut. So yeah, I'm happy for him. But he gets up this morning, he's doing his hair and putting all this stuff, and he's like, "Dude, check out my dude, man. Yeah, I'm fly, I'm fresh. Look at him. There you go. It's all day."
You got your hands full.
Absolutely right. Absolutely. So usually what I do is again I let all my friends in the podcast. I just want to say I'm proud of you, Hannah. Your first year at BTR is absolutely amazing. You know, I know going into the season, everybody you met some of your expectations, some of them you didn't. But this is racing. This is the game, right? But you've learned a lot. You improved. You've gotten faster. Now you have the knowledge on both sides, the suspension, the bikes, and all that's is going to come the more you do it, right? So
Yes.
really looking forward to your 2027 season. I already know you're going to be way more successful. I done called it. You're going to be the champion, right? No added pressure. April, I just called your mom because she just put a comment down. She said, Hanna Brewer is 81 and still races every once in a while. Dude, bro, let's go, right? Absolutely. Proud of you. You're going to absolutely kill it next year, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see you at Daytona. I can't wait to get this interview right. Jeremiah, it was an absolute honor to sit down with you tonight on the show and meet you and greet you. Can't wait to do a deep dive on your whole background and how you got into racing. And then, you know, she didn't tell you all the personal questions I'm going to ask you after that, right? But they're fun questions, you know. Just like if me and you and Hannah and her boyfriend are out and we're down there in Margarettsville and we're cooking burgers and I'll bust out a karaoke machine. What's our go-to karaoke song we're singing, right? Like I make it fun and stuff like that. So,
Right.
I'm going to start off by saying, listen, if it wasn't for Hannah and Jeremiah and everybody that's been on this podcast and everybody that listens, I would not be here in this chair. And that's the absolute honest truth. So thank you to each and every single one of you. I say it every podcast. I love each and every single one of you. I mean, that's just facts, right? Thank you for everybody, April and Dawn, for tuning in and putting all the comments down below. Thomas says, come to Margarettsville, do a live podcast here. You know what? I meant to come down. I got busy. Let's plan that trip. I'd love to come down there and stay with you guys. We'll spend the weekend. I get out. I've never been on a flat track bike before, so you guys can make fun of me. It's cool. I'm good. You know, whatever. Y'all can film it and say, look at this dork right here, right? Like, no. But yeah, let's do it, Thomas. Absolutely.
So I will say this, Jeremiah and I are actually going to do a little video on the 29th together. We're going to ask each other questions and stuff like that and have some videos of us riding. It's like a vlog. We're going to do a vlog together.
I think it's great, you know, because everything for social media, right? It's part of
I mean, you
this
gotta
game.
you gotta put yourself out there. You know what I mean?
You
Yeah.
got to, you know, it's and that's what, you know, friendships, sponsorships, whatever you want to call them. I call them friendships, dude. That's what they want to see. They want to see your personality. They want to see, they watch your race. If you have bad races, they see how you handle it mentally and how you still put that there. Like there's so much that goes into this freaking thing right here, right?
Yep.
And how you use it and all that determines, you know, how much money you get from this friend or whatever the case may be. But listen, it's an honor to have both you on, Hannah. It's always an honor to have you on for the second time. Looking forward to our next one. And again, just thank you for everybody that, tunes into the podcast. It's an absolute honor. So thank you. Hannah, tell everybody where they can find you on social media. And do you have any merch for sale yet?
No, but so I am going to work on that this winter. So I'll have merch available probably right before Daytona, the first race. I'll have merch available then. Yeah.
Bring some to Daytona. I don't want you to give it to me. I'm going to buy it from you, right? That's one thing I love to do is, so the coconut juice is full of coconuts, right? I just got a mouthful. Excuse me. I love to support my friends in that way, right? It's like even if Hannah you's like, nope, here's a hat, here's a shirt, you ain't gotta pay me nothing. Well, guess what? We're friends. And I can find you on Cash App, right? And I can be like, okay, check this out. Boom. You're like, why'd you just send me money? But it's just my way of supporting you as a friend,
Yeah.
right? Whether you want to take the money and buy a steak dinner for you and Thomas or buy a new fishing pole, I don't know. Whatever it is you want to do with it, that's for you to do and to decide. But for me to be able to do that, just to show you, that I'm your friend and I support you in what you do and I want to help you out is besides the podcast, right? It's yeah, it absolutely means a lot. So bring that merch.
I will.
Love it.
I will have it available.
And then of course everybody can find you on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram at
Yes. So the Instagram, I think, is still haven't figured that
We
out.
did this last time, Hannah. Come on. We did this last time.
I really don't get on Instagram like that. Like the only time I got on Instagram today was to share my the podcast on the story, and then I got right back out of it. I use Facebook more.
Okay.
Okay, Facebook is my main source. That probably comes with age, even though I'm young. I'm only 24, but I don't like Instagram. I have to have Instagram though for racing, but you can find me on Facebook, Hanna Nicole Brewer. I think my Instagram is hbrewer.39, I believe, but I don't know exactly.
That's
I know
hilarious.
my TikTok is hbrewer39. I believe Instagram's the same way.
Hang on. Let me pull up Instagram real quick.
Feel bad.
Let's see. Hannah Nicole Brewer. It is. So Hannah's official Instagram is focused. There it is. h.brewer39.
Okay, so it's h.brewer39.
There it
Okay.
is. Let's go. uh, love it. And then Jeremiah, do you do social media too as well, or
Somewhat, not really.
He's old.
Yeah, I'm 31, man. But Facebook's mainly for marketplace, looking at stuff I can't afford. I mean, sometimes I post on there, sometimes I don't. It's mainly my wife just tagging me in all the family stuff. Instagram I don't really use much anymore. Probably been 3 years since I posted something on there. I still have it, but just just kind of the people that know me know who I am, kind of thing. But it's just Jeremiah Snow on Facebook. If anybody wants to follow. Usually, like I said, just a weekend warrior. So I'm not real big into posting about it. So it's just sometimes I post, sometimes I don't. So
yeah, unfortunately I'm a slave to the system. They say, right? Because of being a podcast, all this juggling act and just blah blah
Yeah.
blah. But it is good. But I found a good balance to where like usually when I come home, other of course than me sitting down with my friends that I'm talking to right now, right? I come home and I found a piece to where I can just turn it off and set it down, right? Even if I get phone calls and stuff, I'd be like, hey, let me hit you back tomorrow. I'm busy. I'm chilling with the family or whatever it is, and kind of just cut it off, right? It's important to step away, right? Especially in racing too, Hannah, right? And Jeremiah, you know this, right? You just maybe I just need to go fishing, or just let's just go camping for the weekend, or let's just do something and just get out of here and just get away from all the social media and the motorcycles and whatever it is, and just do me, right? Look, Thomas is in there, ain't he?
He is going by on the water truck.
Oh,
I just
okay.
waved at him.
I love it. I love it. All right, Dawn says she really enjoyed it. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Dawn, don't forget to hit those likes and subscribes, right?
I do want to take a moment and thank
Yeah,
my
go ahead.
sponsors. I want
100%.
to thank Royal Enfield, Parts Unlimited, Araya, America's Alpine Star, K-Tech, DNA, Air Filters, Vortex, Motion Pro, RNG, Crash Protection, Dunlop Racing, DynoJet, BS Batteries, Lowry Racing, Saddleman, and SNS, and Red Bull. And then my personal sponsors is Ron Ayers Motorsports, Reaper Custom Fabrication, Wild Tigers North Carolina East, Issa Motorsports, Lewis Motorsports, Margarettsville Speedway, Tar Heel Speedway, Host Racing, Mom and Dad, RPM Promotions, and Southeast Flat Track.
And you had all that written down with your Instagram.
Oh,
My iPad.
I love it. Let's go. Oh my
I'm
god.
telling you, I don't get on Instagram. I actually have my Instagram and Facebook linked.
Yeah, that's good.
That way I
Me
post
too.
on Facebook and then it posts on Instagram.
I figured that out too. I was like, you know what? Instead of spending more time doing this, if I can link
Yeah.
everything together and make one and it goes out, yeah, let's go. Right. Unfortunately, like with this, I can do shorts, right? Which I'll do a short of ours. But when I post it to TikTok, I physically got to go into TikTok and then go to my notifications and it'll say my short is ready. Then I got to go in there and put Hannah Nicole says or blah, whatever it is I want to say, right? To make up
Yeah.
our short. And then that's the only downfall of yeah, TikTok. I haven't figured out a way to just like make it seamless, but yeah, I'm not the biggest computer guy. I'm just proud of myself. Pat on the back for figuring this shit out right here, right? So here we are. But yeah, this episode will be out. Just give me about 30 minutes. It'll be out everywhere: Spotify, iHeart, all that stuff. The only place I'm not at, Jeremiah, is Apple. I've been going back and forth for like months with Apple. Finally, I just gave up because they're like Facebook. You can't call. I'm like, can I call somebody? Can we just talk? They're like, oh, all you got to do is this. And I send them screenshots. They're like, yeah, do this. And they circle it. And I do exactly what they say. And it
still doesn't work.
It's just looking at me like, what are you doing? Right. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm done. So, yeah. April says, as much Red Bull as you drink, you should get them as a sponsor.
I do. They do sponsor me.
With all the free drinks, right?
Only at Daytona, like at the AFT events, we get free Red Bulls.
Yeah, yeah. I like the sugar-free Red Bulls.
Yeah, that's the ones I drink. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the sugar-free. The Nos, man, I drink a Nos. I feel like, I don't know, man. My heart's doing 5 billion miles an hour, and I'm just like, let's go.
Wawa's got them free for $7 right now, so.
Let's go, man. I've been on this kick where it's called Bubbler, if I'm not mistaken. It's a seltzer water, no sugar, no calories, but they got different flavors, right? And it's like energy too as well. It's yeah, that's what I've been drinking. That's really good. So, it's been an absolute honor. Hannah and Jeremiah, just down with me for 1 second. I'm in this podcast. Thank you for everybody tuning in. This episode will be out here in a few minutes. I just said that anyway. I'm out of here. I'll be at VR this weekend. Let's go. Moto America's in town. Let's get it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys soon.
Calling all two-wheel enthusiasts, get ready to rev up your earbuds with Pin the Gas Podcast, the ultimate motorcycle racing podcast, hosted by Chris Simcoe, one of our very own excellent leaders here in Roanoke, Virginia. With expert analysis, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive writer interviews, Pin the Gas Podcast delivers the adrenaline rush of the racetrack straight to your ears. Whether you're a diehard fan or a curious newcomer, you'll gain insights that will transform how you watch and understand motorcycle racing. On your favorite podcast app, join Simcoe as he takes you on a high-speed journey through the world of motorcycle racing. Pin the Gas Podcast.